he is so brilliant, but I can't identify aesthetically, optically, it's not like cannon, moves well. How do you, when you look at Burrow, and you don't do bingo games, but you see a lot of it.
See enough of them.
And you know enough people in the league. Even Herbert, 6'5", big, almost mechanically accurate. What is Burrow's secret sauce?
I think put him on any of these other 13-win teams, they're right at 13 or 14 wins as well. You know, I think he can process with the top players.
Processor.
He's so quick, because if you can't run, let's say like Lamar, you're going to have to be more of a drop back guy, right? Whatever variation that is. And then if you don't have the strongest arm, well, then you got to anticipate. Well, he's got to do both, and he does them both at a high level. I mean, he's keeping these teams in his team in the game most of the game. But when you throw it 55 times a game, you're just inevitably going to throw more interceptions. You're going to have a couple more things that go wrong, right? Yeah. Just, you know, think how basic it is. You hand the ball off from under center. You can either fumble the snap, mess up the exchange, or fumble the ball after you give it to the halfback. When you drop back to pass, I mean, 3-4 other things negative can happen. You could throw the interception. It could be incomplete. You could take a sack. You could get hit, sack, fumble. I mean, there's just so many more things that go wrong every time you drop back to pass, and he has to do it almost 60 times a game. So if you're grading him or comparing him to some of these other quarterbacks, he's doing it just as well, if not better. He's just on a rough team. And, you know, part of it is they just don't run the ball. Yeah. They just kind of don't.
You think he's obviously accurate. It's processing. Some guys.
Processing and anticipation, the accuracy, all three of those. And the other one, I mean, no matter who my quarterback is, whether you can run like Lamar or you're a statue and have to throw from the pocket, I need you tough between the ears. Bottom line. And that dude's, I mean, you see the kind of standard he holds himself to.
Oh, yeah.
And he's one of those guys almost, you know, he doesn't understand some of the social norms sometimes of like, hey, dude, you can't talk about people like that. But he's literally saying it about himself.
Right.
And he wouldn't say it about other people if he didn't hold himself to that standard. Yeah. Like, you know, one of my favorite stories is Jason Witten. I mean, that dude was like high caliber, tight end Cowboys. I remember he came out to the field one time and just ripped the groundskeeper because it was like the second week of the season in September, and there was just like brown patches on the grass. He goes, hey, what the hell are we doing out here? Come on, let's go, man. I'm here. I'm expected to do it right. We all got to do it right. Get this field right. Like, I was like, geez, what? But that was everybody. You know what I mean? Like the cafeteria staff, the people selling tickets, everybody was going to be at that level because he puts them on that level. So Burrow's got shades of that, and that's what makes him so competitive. He's a nasty competitor, an assassin.
Yeah. All right, Mark Sand.
All right, well, don't ever yell at the people who are doing the field. They make significantly less money than you. Okay. But yes, Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow is elite. I understand you're trying to figure out exactly what makes him special. It is his accuracy. It is his anticipation. It is his arm. It's his ability with such an incredibly high rate, like a comically, hilariously high rate, to make the right throw at the right time. I mean, it seems easy, but it's not. It's just not. I mean, how many times can you really go look at Joe Burrow and be like, he shouldn't have made that throw. He had this play here. Like, he just doesn't do it. And yeah, when you throw the ball that many times, there's going to be plenty of times when the throw is not perfect. It's not accurate. It isn't incomplete. It is intercepted. But the reality is that you can trust him to just keep throwing the ball again and again and again and again and again and succeed with a comically, hilariously high success rate. And that is not the case for virtually any other quarterback out there. They're just not. And again, just his ability. People even think that it's easy just to get the ball to like, oh, Jamar Chase. And then it's not. It's really not. There's plenty of other quarterbacks out there who have great receivers where they can't get the ball or they can't see the different levels of where they need to throw the ball. They don't feel comfortable making certain throws at certain times. And there's not a single throw that Joe Burrow can. When we talk about having a cannon, it's like there's this obsession with either distance or like velocity of just like whipping it. And I get it, because at the heart of it, a quarterback is throwing the ball, but it's so much more than that. But on the flip side, there's also this belief of like, dude, you're a quarterback, you throw the ball. You just got to throw the ball at Jamar Chase and he does the rest. He catches it. And it's like, well, it's a lot more complicated than that as well. Again, it is being able to throw guys open, read the defenses, high level anticipation, processing, the speed of processing, kind of knowing when to take the chance versus when not to take the chance. When it's appropriate, when you are pushing the ball down the field to actually make that throw versus check it down. Knowing I got to get the ball to Jamar Chase and actually getting it to him. Because there's plenty of quarterbacks who we know, that's a top receiver. And I'm purposely not saying any names to just avoid any conflict here. Because I don't need to see, if I say someone else's name, they're going to be like, oh yeah, what did so-and-so do? What did Joe Burrow ever do? And it's like, I'm not trying to get into debate between which quarterback over that quarterback. That's not the purpose of this video right now. I have no desire to talk about that. It's kind of comically hilarious as well that there's still even a question of Joe Burrow's eliteness. And when Sanchez is kind of saying, oh, if Joe Burrow, if you put him on another team that's like 12, 13 wins, that they would be 12, 13 wins as well. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I think there's a great chance that they would be even higher. They would be even better. Your team is going to be better with Joe Burrow on it. Unless your team is really not that good and you are relying heavy on like a really hyper mobile quarterback. But like Joe Burrow is him. And it's really kind of a shame because of some of the injuries that he sustained and then now some of the teams that he's been on. It really is how quick we can forget of just how great someone is. And again, the problem with Joe Burrow's game is it doesn't jump off the screen in the way that like a Lamar Jackson does. Joe Burrow could ball out, throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, and yet it won't look as exciting as a game with Lamar Jackson, who throws for 210 yards, 3 touchdowns, but rushes for like 80 yards, 90 yards. Because it'll involve a moment when he scrambles and really runs around in circles and then throws the ball down the field, or where he rips off a 35-yard touchdown run. It just feels more exciting. And because of that, and it is exciting. That's why I even regret bringing up Lamar Jackson's name in this video, because I do not want any debates in the back and forth of it. But Joe Burrow, in this modern era of football, people don't appreciate what he does. And Dan Orlovsky kind of said it best when they were trying to talk about, I guess I'm going to have to name another quarterback. I'm trusting you guys now. Jalen Hurts. And they asked Dan Orlovsky, like, hey, Jalen Hurts, everybody, he's like, he has to get the ball more to A.J. Brown. And they were like, why is it everyone and their mother knows to shut down Jamar Chase, and yet Joe Burrow can still get the ball to Jamar Chase? Why is it that he can do it, but Jalen Hurts can't do it for A.J. Brown? And Dan Orlovsky just puts it point blank. He's like, with all due respect to Jalen Hurts, he's not the passer that Joe Burrow is. And that's the answer right there. That's it right there. It's just, it's doing not only some of these big magical things, but it's also making sure to take care of every single little thing as well. And it's just, that's what Joe Burrow brings. And that's Joe Burrow's brand of special. And it's just, sorry Bengals fans, but it's just a shame that he's just not on a better team right now. And I just, there's a way for them to find themselves in the playoffs. Oh man. There's just such potential there, actually. If Joe Burrow can get this team into the playoffs and then get to like the AFC Championship game or something, it would be one of the greatest it would be, he doesn't even have to win the Super Bowl. It would be one of the greatest accomplishments of a quarterback has ever done. I'm very confident that it would be one of the most extraordinary things that I could have ever imagined to see. And it would solidify just how great Joe Burrow truly, truly, truly is. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Joe Burrow? What do you think makes him special? What do you think separates him from other quarterbacks? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.